We all know that the hookups by the Farbrengens started Yuchvat Tovshin Lamed. Yuchvat 1970. It was the Yuchvat HaGodel. It was 20 years after the Rebbe started his Nesias. So it was a special Yuchvat with a lot of guests, and that's when they finished Mashiach Sefer Torah. And that's when they arranged the first hookup that in Eretz Yisrael. They were able to hear at the moment simultaneously as the Rebbe spoke, you could hear the Farbrengen. Till then, in other places, it would take days till they would get the tape, sometimes weeks. But here was the first time they arranged that you should be able to hear the Farbrengen, B'Shas Maise, in Eretz Yisrael. And then throughout the year, it spread to other places a little bit. And then Vov Tishrei Tovshin Lamed Aleph, the Rebbe spoke about it. He connected it to the pasuk where it says, "Ufaratz Yom V'Keidem V'Tzafeina V'Negba," which means you shall spread, you shall break through the boundaries, all sides of the world. And he said that this is a beginning of it, that there are no boundaries anymore, that when you talk here, you could hear at the same moment over there, especially when it goes to Eretz Yisrael. And Pasuk Ufaratzto was told to Yaakov at the time concerning Eretz Yisrael, and it says the Eibishter gave him the bracha that the place he was laying on, that represented the whole Eretz Yisrael, because the Eibishter folded the whole of Eretz Yisrael under him, B'meila, this inyan of Varatzta happens more to Eretz Yisrael, so this inyan is connected more to Eretz Yisrael. And then the Rebbe said that probably will come a time that not only we will be able to speak here and they will hear it there, but the opposite, we will also be able to hear what they answer. We will be able to say L'chaim to them, and they will be able to answer L'chaim V'Levrocha, and we'll be able to hear over here them answering L'chaim V'Levrocha. And then the Rebbe said that even now, when it didn't happen yet, but the truth is anyway that it is happening, that we connect it, and when we say L'chaim, then their L'chaim V'Levrocha is accepted here, etc., etc. Since the Rebbe said that this is what he would like to be done, so for Yutas Kislev, which was the next weekday Big Farbrengen, they arranged that they should be able to speak from there to those places who are connected. They should be able to speak from there, and here by the Rebbe in 770 by the Farbrengen should be able to hear. So I remember when we came into the Farbrengen, we saw next to the window where Chaim Baruch Halberstram's room was, where there they had all the hookups, all the equipment for the hookups, all the phones. So right outside that window was a big speaker. The old-time speakers, which we had like on one side it's narrow and then the other side it's very, very wide. It looks like a T. And we understood that this is a speaker specially made, that they should be able to speak from there, and we should over here be able to hear by the Rebbe's Farbrengen to hear how they answer L'chaim. Came to the Farbrengen, like in the middle of the Farbrengen, the Rebbe spoke about Australia. And he said that Australia now bought a new building, a bigger building, and he said in the meantime they were narrow-minded, they didn't want to jump into it, but I, so to speak, pushed them to jump into it, and they jumped in, and now they got the building. So b'meila, that's a special simcha. And the Rebbe said, when he finished speaking about it, he said, Mistame, the Eilam is going to say L'chaim. And if it could be Mesader, that they should answer from there, and we will hear it here, that would be a good thing. And the Rebbe turned to that big speaker, and they tried to make that they should answer from there. L'peil, it didn't go. It didn't go. I guess they started trying to speak from there, but we couldn't hear it from here. It didn't go, and the Rebbe looked and looked. Then the Rebbe turned around to a person who was standing on the pyramids, very high up, very close to that speaker, and the Rebbe says to him from far, Zogt Vihi Noam. You should say Vihi Noam. He didn't understand what the Rebbe is talking about. He didn't even know what the Rebbe meant to him. So people started looking at him and saying, yeah, the Rebbe is talking to you. Zok v'nayam, say v'nayam. He didn't understand what the Rebbe meant, and he didn't do anything. He didn't move. What do you mean, say v'nayam? Now, the pashtas, what the Rebbe meant is, because the Mogen Avram says in Simen Tovkuf Pei in Hilchas Rosh Hashanah, Sivkot Yud Aleph, the Mogen Avram writes like this: It once happened that they couldn't blow, the shofar didn't go. So he turned the shofar around. I don't know who it was, maybe it was the Maril, because he quotes the Matamesha in the Maril. So he turned the shofar around, and he said into the shofar, Vihinayam, Veshuv, Yochlut. Now they were able to blow with it. And I'm probably, Mishtam, for sure, the Rebbe meant this. So he said to him, Zog Vihinayam. The Rebbe didn't explain himself, but he Zog Vihinayam. And he didn't say it, and it happened, the Rebbe repeated himself, I think, a few times, and he didn't chap what the Rebbe was talking about. The Rebbe made with his hands, and then he didn't say, and then the Rebbe turned around, and didn't, I think he just made with his shoulders, if I remember correctly, and that's it. I think then finally they told him, say their name, he did turn around, he did say their name, I think, but it was already too late, and that's it. And that's it. And since then, even though the Rebbe had wanted that there should be the ability that they should talk from there, that we should be able to hear it here, since it didn't work, it seemed, I don't know why, but it seemed by the Rebbe like a simon that it shouldn't, and that's it. He never asked for it again. I think it came to the next big Farbrengen, which was Shvat, or the other Farbrengens, they tried to put up again, but the Rebbe never made mention of it, and that's it. It never happened again. But it seems like because he wanted it to happen, if it didn't go, it didn't go. But the interesting part is that he said to him, Zog Vihi Noam, say Vihi Noam into the microphone, into that speaker. Similar to the shofar, and probably had he said it, would have started working, but since it didn't, that's it, as a simon that it shouldn't happen, and from then on the Rebbe never mentioned it again.